To shut down the government or not shut down the government? That is the question for investors on this Tuesday. We'll talk about the implications if there are any. We got some movers. We got some stocks going up big, down big as usual. Earnings, only 33 earnings reports today. Not much to talk about there. But special segment, special guest today at 8:35. Louis Sykes of Homey Charts will join us for Crypto Corner. Folks, let's get started on pre-market prep.
The volatility right now is really incredible.
Wow, look at that consolidation on the upper right chart.
You know what we've seen this earnings season? Some of these expected moves get even more violent. And this is why I have switched my strategy 10 years ago. And if you're chasing, you're in trouble.
Okay, here we are. We're in the red. Little nervousness here. 12 and a quarter handles, 67.01 and a quarter. Off that pre-market low by only 7 or 8 handles. The buck down 8 cents, 97.50. TLT showing a tad of strength here, up 9 cents, 89.72. Crude USO got to the top of the trading range, a little bit farther, back down to $1.36, 73.23. Gold and silver giving some back. Silver SLV a little bit more. That's down 57 cents at 41.93. GLD down to $1.26, 351.18. And Bitcoin, big day yesterday. Tried to get back over that 50%. Falling back today, 1250. Just under 114K. That's in the futures. Let's bring on Triple D and Triple D, how he hates questions. We will start with a literary question.
Gosh.
Yes. The quote that I used at the beginning was from a famous playwright in a famous play. Do you know what that is?
Well, say the quote again.
Well, my quote was, will the government shut down or will it not shut down?
To shut down or not to shut down? That is the question. That's William Shakespeare. I know my
What
play?
What play?
To
was
be
that
or
the
not
Wicked?
to be? That is the question. Would it be Topher's helping me out with Hamlet?
Who helped you out with Hamlet?
Topher from the chat. I was like, I don't really know, but I'm looking over at the chat. Yay. I hate morning quizzes. I never liked tests or quizzes in school either, and Joel still wants to test me all the time and test
What's up with the long
general knowledge. I'm the person that watches like Jeopardy and gets 0 right. Like I don't get 1 the whole time. If they had a category on NHL, maybe I'd be okay. Maybe if they had a stock market category, I'd be okay. But general knowledge, none in this guy.
When they have sports, I do okay. You know, when they have the sports category, but then
we'd have a better shot at that one. But yeah,
is it cold in the Georgian Bay? It's
cold this morning. It is currently. Oh gosh, what is the temperature? It's supposed to warm up though. The nights are cold, and the days are warm. That's where we are right now. The current temperature up in Georgian Bay is 53 degrees.
Oh, that's not
sunny
bad.
And going to be 70 today. And this weekend, listen to this, folks. This weekend in October. High on Saturday, sunny and 79. High on Sunday, 78. You got to like that, man. You got to like that. So, boat is still in. Gonna go boating. Gonna do it. Absolutely. It'll be the last weekend for boating. This will be it.
Okay. Brett and I will be there.
You're out there. Let's go.
Okay. So, government shutdown or no government shutdown? What does that really mean?
To shut down or not shut down, that is the question. The answer was given by J.D. Vance last night on his presser, and he says, I believe we are going to have a shutdown. Watching the back and forth, Schumer's up there and saying this is the Republicans' fault. Vance and the gang's up there saying this is all the Dems' fault. This is what they do. They just blame each other, and it goes back and forth, around and around we go. It didn't sound like either were close to getting to a deal here, and we obviously have till midnight tonight to strike this deal. I'm going to go with the no deal as well. I think J.D. Vance is correct. I think there's going to be no deal. So deal or no deal, I'm saying no deal. Government shutdown happens. The last time this happened, I believe, was 2018. and it was locked down. And this is going from my memory, so if I'm wrong, let me know. It could have been 2019 too. 35 days, I believe, was the shutdown. So we have had precedents. This has happened before. The world did not end. We did continue. But there's certain areas that are going to be affected. And bring the Brentster in here because he was bringing up a very good point, and you as well, Joel, that we have this Friday, we have a jobs number. But if we get a government shutdown, we firmly believe that the jobs data will not come out. So it's affecting us.
What the heck?
Directly. No 8:30
What the heck,
number.
U.S. government? Yeah,
Yeah.
Joel dug up a CNBC article today that was citing the Bureau of Labor Statistics directly that said there will be no jobs data on Friday if the government is shut down. So keep in mind, something to keep in mind here is, folks, we do always get 2 jobs data points, 3 even, leading up to our Friday jobs data. Today, we are going to get the JOLTS job openings at 10 a.m. And then tomorrow we're going to get the ADP employment change at 8:15 a.m. So if it's likely that we're not going to get that jobs data on Friday, does it make these data points here today and tomorrow and Thursday, for that matter, more important? Although, do we really do? I think it does, but also we're in this environment here where the path for our rate cuts this year is pretty defined. I don't know that there will be a Friday jobs report that would like change the course of our rate changes here.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if we know the course completely here. I thought I knew the course, and I thought it was going to be 3 cuts this year, and I think the market is still banking on that. But after listening to Powell and who else was being hawkish there last week? Was it
Austin Goolsbee?
They're both kind of hawkish. They both hinted that they could be one and done. So we don't know. I don't know where this next rate cut is going. So I think that jobs data actually may matter, Brent. So if we don't get it, that's interesting too. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. Obviously, the jobs data is weak or strong when we don't know what it's going to be, but that would impact either way. But no jobs data, does it change things? I think it probably leans more towards having cuts because there's no more reason to not cut. So, yeah, something to think about. Sectors, like what's going to be affected here? You naturally think like government, obviously government contract. We can talk about defense stocks, for instance, maybe some of them affected. I don't know. I think all stocks will be affected. I think we're down 15 handles this morning because they're starting to realize there's going to be no deal. Goldman Sachs, a bunch of analysts coming out estimating the impacts, and they're saying, I don't have it in front of me, so again, I'm just going from my memory, but it could be, as a significant hit on GDP if the shutdown is long. So they do think that the numbers here actually do matter. So this could impact economic data. The stock moves on GDP, not really, but lots to think about, lots to chew on. I also think this morning's strength overseas, if we're looking at China specifically this morning, I think anything that's directly bad for the US is usually good for China. So FXI trading higher this morning, Baba, Baidu, those stocks trading higher. Some people are saying buy gold if the government shuts down. I'm going to say no to gold on the government shutdown. The reason is gold has been positively correlated with the S&P here for the better part of the last 6 months. So I'm not completely convinced that gold is the safe haven insurance that it normally is. It'll normalize again, but right now we're not in normalized markets. Gold's been moving up with the markets, and it would not surprise me, everybody hiding in gold, and they were moving there yesterday, if there's a rug pull here actually and catches them, even if we get a government shutdown. So I don't know if I necessarily believe that gold's going to be running and running if we get a shutdown, and some people really believe that.
Do you want the jobs data for Friday and for next month and perhaps for all of 2026?
You have that information?
I do have that information.
Yeah, sure. We'll take that. Or we'll get a lot of viewers too on that. Yeah.
Unemployment is going to continue to creep higher. There's structural changes going on. AI taking jobs. What did ExxonMobil cut 2,000 jobs? I mean, it's just going up. It's just the way it is.
Longer term, I don't think AI is taking any jobs yet. I'm firmly in your camp, though, Joel. that. 84% government shutdown. That's a good
Yeah,
number. I think.
and the more concerning thing is that lowering rates is not the panacea to jumpstart the economy and turn the unemployment around. Much deeper things. We are
Well, AI is going to change everything, and I think it is going to. I think it is going to cost people jobs.
It's going to
gonna
cost
make everything
people
more
jobs.
efficient, and it's going to cost people jobs.
Yep.
I have little doubt about that.
And
So
what
everybody's
you,
saying it's going to be just as many jobs created. They're saying that just so people don't revolt against AI. It's not. It's common sense, folks. There's going to be job losses, especially for like I think a lot of skilled labor still going to be in demand here, but I think we've already seen like go to McDonald's. Everybody uses there's one teller in there now and a bunch of like do it yourself. So I mean we've already kind of been moving to it. That's self checkout though. I mean AI checkout where the bot just listens to you and places the order. Yeah, for sure it could do that. 100%. Can humanoids like grab your burger and bring it over and cook your burger? Probably coming. Physical AI. Probably 10 years from now, we're not going to recognize the world we're in. It's going to be more like a Star Wars movie. Like, go and watch Star Wars. If you've never watched it before, go watch it. The droids will be helping us out for a bit. Then go watch Terminator because 20 years down the road, they're going to kill us all. So enjoy the droids helping us because when they realize they don't need us anymore, full Skynet, we're all dead. That's going to cost some jobs.
those pop machines can be tricky in those places, like when you have to hit all the
select the syrup and stuff.
Yeah, and
it's different. It's a different drink too. You get
to hit the button, can't get the water because the water's a small button right there.
And then the ice comes flowing over, or else the ice doesn't work.
And then the bot slips on the ice back there, and then it sues McDonald's because the joints are all out of whack.
But
just
let me finish on my employment rant. And so what you're going to do is you're going to be raising rates, and it's really not going to help the economy, but it's going to cause higher inflation. And I know we've been hearing that for a long time, but putting all that money in the system, ride the wave, ride it for the rest of this year, ride it into 2026. We start pumping more money into this economy. Boom. I think those inflation numbers are not going to be what we wanted in 2026.
Let's recap a little bit from yesterday. Marijuana, pot stocks. Holy cow. We said I wouldn't be fading it. Thank goodness we did not. Because you had stocks like Tilray open up at their lows, kept running. You had stocks like GRWG open at the lows, kept running. CGC, MSOS, MJ, all opening near the lows, all closing near the highs. So why? Because Trump gave a positive mention. I had the video he tweeted out on pot stocks, CBD, whatever you want. And then, you got the short interest here, and then you get the retails just jumping in and on the bandwagon, and away we go. So we kind of suspected this could be a gap and go. It's why we said yesterday I would not be fading this. The gap and go has happened. I don't know if you continue to get follow through. You're getting a little bit of follow through in some of these names here this morning. But it's very interesting, like when these stocks, the sector gets going, we've seen it before, can last for a few days. Is this the big turnaround story in pot stocks? We want to put all them into our long-term investment portfolio? Probably not. But is there a short-term trading opportunity here? Well, yeah, there was yesterday for sure. On dips, probably going to get bought.
I did not see the video. Did Trump?
It was a retweet, I think.
Did he have like a spleef in his hand and blowing smoke rings like like Joe
Rogan?
Like
the Elon Musk one when he was on Joe Rogan?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I actually didn't watch it either.
That would be that would be.
I think it was a CBD video.
Okay.
I'm trying to see if I can find it.
Well, MJ
video endorsing CBD for seniors. So it's for seniors. Okay. Here it is, new media post. Should we? I'm just looking at it for the first time. Actually, I guess I should have watched it. I don't think he created. I think he just retweeted this video. But anyways, Tilray yesterday was up like 60%. So I mean, these things go. Funny is some of these are Canadian stocks too going.
MJ's up big. I see that's up 72 cents. What component am I missing of this? CGC's
MJ is thin as hell.
Okay.
It's very thin. It trades like last night was trading with $1 spread. So it is thin. So when you see just some odd lots going off at 40, it's not necessarily going to be the case. MSOS is probably the thicker one, the better one to look, which is Advisor Shares Pure Cannabis ETF. That one right there is probably the thickest one. So give you a feel. You're basically barely up this morning here. You do have CGC, Tilray, GRWG. You can get into the derivative plays. There's a few of those in there as well. But the one that's really liquid and it's got a 1 cent spread right now is MSOS. That one's liquid.
Okay. All right. I mean,
I trade these every once in a while. They're fun to trade. They were fun to trade yesterday. I was trading MJ last night. It was fun to trade last night. So I mean, and even MJ, even sometimes on the thin ones, sometimes they're fun to trade. But I mean, MJ's got the wide spread, so sometimes hard to get executed.
You know what's interesting about this with even with that major catalyst? You haven't hit last month's high yet. That was at 602, and a month end close in August at 557. So we might need, I mean, to have a green bar for the month, 557. We got to close above that. We're trading at 530. So I don't know if your technicians are saying, oh, got a much higher low on the monthly consolidation near the lows of the move. But I mean, come on now. If this is good, let's giddy up. Let's get to 602. Let's close above 557 for the MOS. And that does swing some volume around. Traded.
What did it trade yesterday?
Yesterday it traded good volume. It went from 6 million to 46 million. So update, big volume confirmation. We'll see. Want to see follow through today's high. You want to see the buyers come in. You had the buyers come in yesterday. Rewarded, traded, closed near the high of the session. That's your mark at 528. So we'll see. Right now, holding that area, trading 530, nicked a little bit higher in the pre-market, but maybe not the follow through if you were looking for a huge 2-day move, since it was the first day of a move coming off the 50-day moving average.
Government shutdown will affect mail services, though, right? I'm just thinking out loud here. Does it? U.S. Postal Service go down with government shutdown? U.S. Postal Service, can we verify that?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Let me check right now. But I'm pretty sure, Dennis, that's a good call. What do you think?
Is that a catalyst for UPS, FedEx?
Nah, no.
Don't think so?
I mean,
market thinks like that, man. Gotta get your packages delivered.
Yeah, but what about your junk mail? FedEx, isn't it? And that's all you ever get now is junk mail.
Oh, the Rebel says no. They say no. Thank you, chat. That's why I was asking the question. USPS is separate. So the U.S. Postal Service will not shut down, they're saying. Thank you very much. Okay.
What about air traffic controllers?
I think they got to keep working.
I think that's private.
I think they got to keep working.
Okay.
I'm looking this stuff up right now.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry to digress back, but
what about us? If the government, how about if the government shuts down, we shut down. We don't have class. We don't have
more
class.
No, never. We'll do an extra show if the government shuts down. So don't spread bad rumors. Be like, don't be prep tomorrow. The government shut down. We need our viewership up. Give us a like, folks. Like this show. Like.
We don't beg for likes.
No, I know. And everybody else begs for likes. So we're gonna beg right now. Please like us. Please press the like button. Keep the show going. Like us.
But now the YouTube algorithms are going to hear that we're asking people to like the show, and they're going to dislike us. And they're going to They're going to say no.
It does not work that way.
How do we know? We don't really know what's in that algorithm. We do know it's very good because we play just a little bit of music and we get the warning, like the smidgen of music, and the nasty warning comes. You have violated. What's it say?
You guys are the ones that do that.
What's it say?
In the STN room. Oh man, you want me to go look the multiple emails or like?
How many have you gotten since we started on our own? Like with the warnings?
At least a half a dozen.
And they're little nasty things, aren't they?
Yes.
We don't like. If I just try to sing, like just sing a little bit of a song right now, will it nail me?
Yeah.
Can't sing Happy Birthday.
Brent played something for 5 seconds in the STN room, which they don't have a paid subscription to, and they picked it up.
Still got us because we had a backup on YouTube. for recording.
Day by Day is asking me who says they like me, they really like me. Who said that? Is that from a movie? Is that from? Do you
No,
know day by Day? Nope. Give me a clue. I'm not a movie guy like these guys are.
I don't know
Okay.
that one either. Okay,
Good
continuing on.
stock show. 21 minutes. This is a stock show, Dennis.
I know. Well, we've given some stocks. We're going to give more stocks here. We had earnings last night. Vail Resorts reported MTN. We can start there. It's pretty boring. We know we're out of earnings season when we start with Vail Resorts. But you know what? Shout out to Tim, who's out there in Colorado. Vail Resorts, kind of fun out there. They missed, though. They lost $5.08. How the hell did they lose that much money versus 472 loss estimate? So I guess something was going on. Sales were light too, so they missed and they missed. They expect net income to be between 201 million, 270. Nothing sounds good here. Yet the stock holds up well. What's up?
I hate skiing. But anyways, there's a mountain of support here at on the dailies at the 143.5 area. Looks like you dip below it in the pre-market, but look at all those lows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lows, 143.5. That's your level. Use it as support. If it breaches it, then it will act as resistance. Off the low for the year. Just not a pretty looking chart, since the end of 2021. Where's the AI in skiing? I mean, it's cold.
Yeah.
I remember we used to go with the girls and stuff. You have to carry all the skis and the equipment and the boots and everything. I mean, it's just, I'd rather, what you need for a good vacation? A swimsuit, a toothbrush, and a change of underwear. That's all you need for a good vacation.
Change of underwear only.
Yes. Because if you're in the pool and stuff, and you can kind of clean it out in the pool. But
Okay.
I don't know. Is it stock out of favor? No, not on my radar.
Okay, continuing on this earnings parade because there's so many earnings. We can look at PAYX. That's barely moving. We can look at Lamb Weston. That's barely moving. UNFI, it's up 5%. Okay, well, we're going to go to a food stocks. We have a little bit of movement here. Let's go check out what the earnings are in UNFI. They beat estimates, lost 11 cents, supposed to lose 19 cents. They see 2026 EPS, though, $1.50 to $2.30 versus 147 estimates. That's a raise of guidance right there. Boom! UNFI, 5%. Longs, bank and coin.
Someone like this at $10. I can't remember if it was a guest on the show or not, but not bad move. Are we getting near? I'm just going to look near the high of the year so far. That's made in February at 34.76. Where did the spike in the pre-market take you to? None other than 34.99. So you're a little over buck and a half away from there. Let's see if it busts through. I mean, it's a food stock, is that super sexy? I don't know, but let's see. Let's see if you could get back up to that area. If not, perhaps look for a little bit of a fade. Top of yesterday's range, way down there near $32. But nice move for United Natural Foods.
Okay, so away from the earnings parade here, back to headlines. Breaking overnight. Verizon explores deal for EchoStar's AWS 3 Spectrum licenses. That's SATS, S-A-T-S. News algos go crazy, obviously getting all antsy in their pantsy again. The stock goes from 73 to 85 in 5.5 milliseconds here. But they overshoot once again. It's back down to 79. The fades on the news algos are the way to go. It was up there. It wasn't up there long. They aren't selling the whole business. They just see sell and they think they're selling the whole business. They're not selling the whole business. They're selling part of it potentially to Verizon here. Verizon's not moving, doesn't seem to care. AT&T's not moving, doesn't seem to care. T-Mobile's actually trading a little bit higher, so I don't know. I don't know how this impacts anything else, but SATS is moving up a bit here. Give me some technicals on SATS.
I'll give you some technicals, and then I got a little story on this one. SATS for satellites. You just boom bumping up against 81. Oh, where's your triple top? That's the only thing you guys care about. That's up at closer to $85. I'm gonna call it 85 as a super extra major resistance. That's a high of the move. The next daily high coming into play here. Oh, you did spike to. Oh man, did it really spike to 85 there?
Yeah,
It did.
on the initial. That's what I said.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
algos just go nuts. They just,
oh,
oh my gosh, buy. That's what they do. Every time
okay.
they overshoot everything. Like there's always an overshoot. It's almost like nothing's 100% of the time, but it's like 99% of the time they overshoot. So don't.
Let's
Moral of
see
the
if
story is don't buy that initial algo pop.
sell it. $80. I mean, I'm gonna go with that. 79.70 was your high on September 11th. If it clears 80, then you got some room, really got some room to the upside. But right now, settling in. Last pop took it to 81, but 80 is a good number. Don't get fooled if you go 79.5 bid, 80, 80.5, 80 3/4, and then boom, someone comes down and locks it down again at 80. So that's a good level. So to me, I was talking to a buddy over the weekend that actually trades the bonds of this stock. All right. And this has to be the turnaround story of 2025. In June, this company was considering a Chapter 11 bankruptcy, a bankruptcy. And
Well,
then
I
they,
don't know. That didn't show up in the chart though. It never got below 14.
uh,
So
hey,
maybe people were rumoring that.
Dennis, it's on. I talked to my buddy, and it's on Google. Can you have any more confirmation?
Yeah, you
EchoStar
can
has not
actually.
filed, though, is
Stocks usually
reportedly
bankrupt when they're
considering
down at a
a
buck or
Chapter
two.
11 filing in June. This was amid financial troubles and the dispute with the FCC over its wireless spectrum licenses. In August, the company secured a $1 billion deal that allayed immediately bankruptcy fears. So
Either way, I'm
it's
with you
up.
though, Joel. Stock goes from $20 a month and a half ago, or $22 to 80. It's EchoStar. Sold to you, man. What a gift. I would just be selling this thing if it was in my long-term portfolio and smiling and going all the way to taking all the cash back into something else, because this is just ridiculously overdone. It's EchoStar. What the hell? Like, why? Why up that much? That's a ridiculous move for EchoStar.
It is, and we probably thought the move. We probably said the move from 30 to 50 was ridiculous, and then we said the
Well,
move
what?
from
I
50 to
would have sold that
70 was
too.
ridiculous, and
I
now we're
would have sold
saying the
that as
move
well.
50 to 85. This is just a ridiculous market, Dennis. I mean, that's
It
just
is.
all there is.
And again, certain pockets of ridiculousness. It's starting to spread though, the ridiculousness here. It was always just AI stocks. Now EchoStar. I don't know. I guess there's an A in there. They're trying to find an AI in SATs, but this seems like a ridiculous move to me too. Like, look at the chart on the right, on the bottom right. Blow that thing up. I mean, something doesn't belong. You look like that, just shifting lower, 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 lower. Joel's talking about bankruptcy, la la la. Let it know. We'll just go up 400% in 40 days for fun, or whatever it is. 300% 40 days, 20 days,
Yeah.
85.
Yep.
Crazy town.
Yep.
We look back, and there's gonna be some stock moves. We'll be like, why did we not sell that? Why did we not short that? That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna be looking back at some of these moves. But that is crazy town. Wow, big moves.
Is it an easy borrow?
I would imagine so.
Yeah.
Let's go to IB, and we just go look at what it costs. Can we borrow? Probably. It is, 0.39% a year. Super cheap. Super cheap.
Okay. All right. Well,
Okay.
there's a move.
US, QuantumScape, another retail darling, has a headline here this morning. QS partnering with Corning for ceramic separator production. Whatever the hell that means. I don't know what that means, but it's a positive headline for QS. QS trading up 3.39%. Probably overshot though. I haven't looked at the chart, but I'm just imagining that the algo's probably overshot on this one. Indeed, I can look at the chart and they definitely overshot. 1390.
Yeah, 1390.
So we'll rally at 15%. Now it's up 3.
1390.
On the the fades on the and look at all those highs, Joel, in the 14 area. These algos don't look at charts
man.
again.
This guy's good. This guy's good, man.
Yeah, the algos, they don't look at the charts. They had 3 highs right there. It goes up and kisses those highs. So when you're trading news headlines and looking for fades, Go out to your daily. Stop looking at your tick charts. Stop looking. Just throw them away. Don't eat them. Go out, look at your 90-day. Where do you have resistance before? July, all kinds of resistance up at 14. Recently, as in 6 days ago, 3 tops just under 14. Where does it go on the news headline? Just under 14. Simple Simon makes you some money.
And also, it's not even traded. First of all, before you even talk about 14, what about yesterday's high at 13.41? You're 60 cents below that. So before you even think about tackling that $14 area, think about 13.41. Do we have some breaking news?
News breaking. Brentster posting in here now. 8:30. CoreWeave Inc.'s $14 billion meta deal to supply computing power. This is why, folks. This is why headlines matter, man, because they drive price. Now, again, that's a good deal. CoreWeave just keeps getting positive headlines, like a lot of them. Did we just overshoot at 132 and change? Maybe. Probably. Yeah, probably. We probably just overshot. Oh, we're right there near the highs. No, we're overshooting. You know what? CNBC hasn't mentioned it yet. So you got to wait till CNBC mentions it because it gets a CNBC pop afterwards. So consider that. So the overshoots sometimes don't matter. CoreWeave will get mentioned on CNBC. So when they mention it, that's usually the top.
Okay. I have a number right here. Right here is my number. 133.40. High close of the move. September 24th. 33.80 was the high. After that, looking for 136, but just hit the high close for the move. If you were worried about your mark on this after you that run up to 140, we'll keep an eye on that 133.40, your September 24th high.
And keep in mind, look, NBIS, Nebius is moving on this. As far as I can tell, I don't see news on Nebius. IREN is moving on this. CORZ, of course, is moving on this. This space, this data center power, this data center infrastructure space has been one of the top themes that has ignited other players in the space. When you see price action in CoreWeave, right away you're going to see price action chords. You're going to see price action IREN, WYFI, Wi-Fi, another one there.
Good call, Brentster. It's moving up here too. So we got Wi-Fi, Nebius, NBIS. Again, this is a company it's a contract for them specifically. So sometimes they don't have as much sympathy move as, if it was news like sector related, like, oh, they're beating earnings. So, we think the other one's going to be doing well too. It's specifically, but I mean, positive contracts could be coming for others as well. I think we're just in this market, like the overall macro tape's a little bit concerned because they're worried about the government shutdown. So I do think that we're more in a sell the rip market here for the next few days until we get past this government shutdown. So keep that in mind. A lot of these pops that we're having aren't getting follow through. Marijuana did because it was so beaten up, but just keep that in mind. It's kind of feels like chasing in this environment hasn't been working.
All right, we'll keep an eye on S&Ps are creeping higher, but it's time for our second segment this month of Crypto Corner. Brentster, roll that intro. Wow.
Morning, guys.
Louis Sykes. Louis, don't call me Louis Sykes, joining us from New Zealand. What time is it in New Zealand?
It's currently 1:30 in the morning, but don't worry, I'm very, very used to operating at wacky time zones, taking meetings all throughout the night. So I'm just thrilled to be talking to you guys.
Okay, thank you. And I already asked you about your name, Louis. Give us, when I think of Louis, I think of Louis the Great. Is that how you got your name?
Yeah, I mean, look, my mum, she loved the royal family, right? So she was like, you know what? I want my youngest child to have a royal name, so I'm going to call him Louis Alexander. So that's where the name came from. You can obviously tell by the accent. Very much from New Zealand, and so the royal family, the Commonwealth, it's all very, very large in this part of the world.
Okay, let's talk about your Twitter handle, Homie Charts, right? And so I looked at it, and being a big candlestick person, I thought that was some fancy candlestick formation, but I was wrong again. Tell us about homie charts.
Well, look, in New Zealand, we have our indigenous language called Te Reo Māori. And I wanted to integrate some of that Kiwi identity into the name that I brought onto Twitter. And so Homie Charts, HAUMI, Homie just stands for investment in Te Reo Māori. And so Homie Charts in English literally just translates into investment charts. And so it's just bringing a little bit of that Kiwi New Zealand flavor to the research that I'm doing every single day.
Okay. All right. I like that. So you're here to talk Bitcoin. Let's talk Bitcoin here. And boy, has the complexion of the Bitcoin market changed since, you got the ETFs in here. You got Ethereum now finally making its move about Bitcoin. Just give us a big picture here. You have Bitcoin, which is the leader. You have Ethereum. You have all the other altcoins and everything. Just set us up in priority and importance, and what you'd like to follow.
Yeah, I think I'm going to start by just saying that this bull market has been very unusual, where what we tend to see in a crypto bull market is we tend to see a lot of these altcoins. I'm not sure how familiar your audience is with the crypto market, but as the bull market tends to mature, we tend to see this rotation down the cap scale, where a lot of these altcoins begin participating. That's when you start seeing all these wacky gains that you start seeing on Twitter begin to hit the tape. But this bull market's been very different because what's been happening is that Bitcoin and Ethereum have been the ones that have been outperforming, and the entire altcoin ecosystem has really been underperforming. And so we've obviously got all these new institutional inflows, we've got all these ETFs now, so that's where all the money is just piling in. But I think there's a catch-up trade. I think there's a catch-up trade looming for a lot of the ecosystem that hasn't really participated in this bull market, because the average altcoin is in a 50% drawdown, even in a raging bull market. So I think, what we tend to see in bull markets is we tend to see the weak groups or the lagging groups tend to catch up to the strongest sectors, to the strongest groups in the market. I think that same sector rotation is going to be driving crypto, and that's what I'm looking out for in these next few months.
Louis, talk about those other altcoins. Like, which ones do you like? Like, everybody, we talk Bitcoin on this show. We talk Ethereum on this show. We know the main couple. Sometimes it gets down to Solana and stuff. But, what do you like? Like, get down, because how many is there? Like, how many altcoins are we talking? Thousands, millions?
There's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, look, there's literally thousands of cryptocurrencies being created every single day. Now, obviously, 99.999% are going to go to zero, right? So we don't pay attention to those.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of these other altcoins that have really developed a lot of this utility. And so there's, tokens like Avalanche, for instance. You pull up a chart of the ticker symbol is AVAX, AVAX. You pull up a chart of Avalanche, and it just looks beautiful. It's just broken out of this massive long-term base to the upside. And the entire crypto ecosystem just looks very similar, where a lot of these tokens have got that same utility. There's still a lot of demand for a lot of these tokens that are actually powering a lot of these new blockchains. And their charts actually just look fantastic. They've just spent the entire year putting in these really nice bases, moving sideways, but now they're beginning to break higher quietly. And nobody's really talking about that. And so I think there's a lot of opportunity. Avalanche, Arbitrum, Optimism, Hyperliquid. There's just a lot of these cryptocurrencies right now.
Like all these names, some of these I've never even heard of. Like, how do you find the good ones when you're having, like you said, thousands of these things created all the time? How do you decipher through? Is it volume? Are you looking for what's trading, what's getting active? Are you going to communities to find out? How do you find out about something like Avalanche?
I mean, I'm looking at everything in the crypto ecosystem. So anything that has a market cap of more than 100 million, which I know is very small, I focus. I look at. I want to see, is it making new highs? What is it seeing some momentum? And then from there, I begin to drill down and see, hey, is this thing actually being used, or is this just a random token that's just moving up for a few weeks and it's just going to collapse back down to zero? And so anything above 100 million, I'm going to look into, particularly if it's making new highs.
So, and then deciphering through, because there's so many that are above 100 million, how do you know which ones are like the ones going to zero that you're talking about, or the ones that is it just technicals, like you're looking at like what it looks like on the chart, like is it drifting lower, is it breaking out, or is there something more to that? Is it like, are they, and again, all these different things, like I think about like Dogecoin, Fartcoin, there's so many different ones that have come. Some were made as jokes, and then ended up taking off and having huge market caps too. But I don't feel like I want to go and invest in Fartcoin anytime soon, even if it has a higher market cap. Like, what else do you look at? Like, how do you dig deep? Is it just all technicals?
It's primarily technicals, but then I'm also beginning to do a lot more fundamental work in a lot of these tokens. And so the real key thing that I'm tending to do right now is just being open to ask a lot of dumb and stupid questions. Because people don't really do that. You go listen to any crypto guy talk about this technology, and he's just using all these long words and all this jargon and nomenclature, and you're just listening, thinking, what the hell is this guy talking about? And so, honestly, just asking a lot of dumb questions and is trying to distill down what these things are actually doing, what their technology does, just in a really simple language, you can actually tend to weed out a lot of the stuff that's just marketing from a lot of the stuff that actually has real world utility. Because if you can explain it simply, there's probably something there. But if it takes hours and hours and hours to actually get to the root of what this thing is actually doing, chances are it's just going to be a laundry list of all the VC buzzwords, and that's just going to be marketing hype.
Do you find any arbitrage? Or go ahead, Dennis. You want to stay on
No,
this
go.
subject?
You got it.
Arbitrage opportunities among the currencies, is that I mean, depends on the liquidity, but are there any crosses or particular spreads or arbitrage opportunities or leaders, laggards kind of thing? Is anything like that you focus on in your trading?
Not really arbitrage. No, that's not the game that I'm playing.
Okay. All right. You're outright just playing them. So you have some charts there, right? And we talked about taking a look at some of the currencies and some of the setups that you look for. I don't know what you have dialed up there for us, but can you give us a pictorial of what you're looking at in some of these Bitcoin?
Yeah, so to add, there's a little plus at the bottom of the StreamYard. If you haven't used StreamYard before, yeah, you got it. And then we're going to add, and we'll add your charts to the screen to give you a little bit here further.
All right. Can you guys see?
We're going to add those to the stage. Yeah, we're going to get that added right now. There we go.
Ooh, that's clean. Go ahead.
What are we looking at here, Louis?
So why I love being a crypto analyst is because a lot of this data, we have a lot of data available to us as crypto analysts that isn't available in the traditional markets. And so we can see a lot of this futures data with a lot of transparency. We can literally see a lot of these transactions as they're occurring on the blockchain itself. We can organize them, categorize them, and we can get a whole bunch more clarity to what's actually happening and driving this market compared to traditional finance, compared to stocks, where a lot of this data is really difficult to come by. The fact that this short squeeze data or short interest data in the traditional markets takes 2 weeks. There's a 2-week lag, and it's released by FINRA, and that's just one example of many. But then in crypto, there's just a tremendous amount of transparency. So what we're looking at here is just the state of what's happening in the Ethereum futures market. So this is just what's happening from a positioning standpoint. So what we're looking at here is the price of Ethereum. We're also looking at funding rates. So funding rates is a mechanism that keeps futures prices in line with spot prices. And when funding rates are negative, as they were just a few days ago, it means that, generally speaking, there's a greater demand for shorts than longs. And then what we're looking at here
what makes up that funding rate? Like, what is that? Like,
funding rates are calculated by taking the difference between the perpetual futures price and spot price. When futures are trading below spot, there's an arbitrage opportunity there. It means that either a whole bunch of longs have been taken out, or it means that shorts are piling up in the futures market that is driving the price of futures below their true value, which is spot. And so that happens very rarely in a bull market, and that only tends to happen when there's a whole bunch of liquidations. So liquidations you can basically think of as margin calls. These are people that have bought a whole bunch of Ethereum or crypto on leverage, and the price has fallen below their level where the exchanges forcefully close their position. Now, when a whole bunch of long liquidations take place in a bull market, you can see funding rates go negative. So there's a whole bunch of longs that have just been taken out. And in bull markets, these are some of the most attractive entries that we have because a whole bunch of longs literally just got taken out. There's a whole bunch of capitulation in the futures market. And then when you combine that with the technicals, we got this level. We got this level of support. We dipped below. We got a whole bunch of liquidations. Funding rates went negative. And now we're back above this key support level. And so there's a lot of people that have been looking at this action in Ethereum saying, hey, look, this thing has been choppy. It's messy. It just broke down to new lows. I don't know if I want anything to do with that. I'm taking the complete other side of the affair. I think this is an incredibly attractive entry. And I think Ethereum has an absolute ripper into the end of the year.
And you like to bring the futures data on that. We discussed that, the open interest. I like to follow the futures because it's clean. The closes. I mean, with the cryptocurrencies, boom, closes 11:59, 59 seconds, reopens at midnight. A little bit harder to follow. That was a great looking chart there. Do you have something similar to that on Bitcoin?
Yeah, I haven't. I don't think I've brought a Bitcoin
Well, let him
chart
go through. I
exclusively,
want to
but
see what else you got on this Ethereum. Run with
Yeah,
it here,
look,
Louis. You got like a whole
that's
presentation here. Killing it.
it's a very similar setup to what we've seen this entire bull run in Ethereum, where again we had this nice rally, had a support level get established, we failed to break down, and then we had an
Undercut and
absolute
rally.
ripper. Same thing there. And we're seeing the exact same thing right now. I'm betting this is no different.
Yeah, that looks the same. The old Gil Morales undercut and rally there trick. That's a nice setup. I always like the undercut and rally there too. So these technicals work pretty well on this crypto charts too. Yeah, continue.
And then what I'm talking about with the average altcoin. So what I've created here is I've equally weighted the top 150 largest cryptocurrencies by market cap. This is what this black line represents. So you can think of this black line as the crypto ecosystem, the crypto asset class. And this orange line is Bitcoin. And so you can see Bitcoin has been leading this entire bull market. Bitcoin's trading basically at all-time highs. But what's the actual crypto ecosystem itself doing? It's not really participated. It's still trading in a massive drawdown. But then the other side of that is the entire year. What has the entire ecosystem been doing? It's been putting in this really nice base. And look, in a bull market, rotation drives price action where the lagging groups catch up to the leading groups. And so I think this is going to be no different to the same rotation that we see in the commodities market and the stock market. I think there's a tremendous amount of bullish shape that's been put in the average altcoin. I think the entire crypto ecosystem is really set up nicely to catch higher to Bitcoin and to have an absolute ripper into the back half of the year.
How many coins are in that average altcoin? Like how many are you capturing in that? Is like 100, 1,000? Is like, how I'm just trying to get a feel for what's in that.
Yeah, so I've equally weighted the top 150 largest cryptocurrencies.
Okay.
So that's what that black line represents.
Okay. So, we can see, this rounding bottom here. You just see, it looks like it's a hell of a lot different than Bitcoin. I mean, it's funny. You think all these stuff moves together, but we've basically been in this bear market in altcoins here, like you were saying off the bat, for a long time. Yet Bitcoin continues to climb here. So do you think this is a catch-up trade where the altcoins catch up to Bitcoin, or does Bitcoin explode up here too and just drag the altcoins up with it?
I think the second scenario is probably is most likely to happen because look, think about it. We got speculative growth in the United States. You got Chinese equities are just rallying every single week. You got this massive expansion of participation into international markets around the world. There's a whole bunch of these risk-on signals, but then you look at the crypto ecosystem and you're saying, hey, hang on, we're actually in a drawdown. We're not making new highs yet. I think there's a massive dislocation there, and I think it's only a matter of time before it resolves.
Got a question from Bob B in the chat here. When taking out the longs, talking about margin traders who get crushed, what percentage of traders are on margin? Now, I know for a fact that on the CME, the Bitcoin and Ethereum contracts are full margin. So with the other platforms out there, how many traders actually Bitcoin or alternative coin traders are using margin?
It's a lot. These perpetual futures markets, stuff that's trading on Binance, Bybit, Hyperliquid, Kraken, now Coinbase. There's a tremendous amount of liquidity in these perpetual futures markets. So every time you see these liquidations, there was about $1.5 billion of liquidations in a single day last week. So that's quite a lot. In fact, there was the most amount of liquidations Ethereum has ever seen since the 2022 bear market low. And so again, there's a lot of liquidations, and the market tends to bottom on those extremes in positioning.
Let's pivot to Bitcoin miners here. A lot of them have severely lagged the currencies, but now you kind of have a new aspect to these miners, and it's the high performance computing, getting into AI here. Is that something that eventually could be a catalyst for some of these Bitcoin miners?
Yeah, so what I'm showing here is this is a state of the Bitcoin mining industry right now. And so what I did is I went through all the individual Bitcoin mining stocks and I said, hey, look, what percentage of their future megawatts or energy is going to be allocated towards Bitcoin mining versus artificial intelligence? And the ones that have been really pivoting to artificial intelligence and moving away from traditional Bitcoin mining, those have been the Bitcoin mining stocks that have been really outperforming. And so something like IREN, right? IREN has just been on an absolute ripper. It seems like every day this thing is just going up and up and up. So it's a really good example of a stock that is transition away from Bitcoin mining and into artificial intelligence where there's greater margins. And you're seeing the ones that are really transitioning, like Hive. Hive is beginning to transition. The market is rewarding these stocks, these companies that are transitioning away from Bitcoin mining, which has generally been an unsustainable business model, and into artificial intelligence, which has higher margins.
Okay, yeah, you can see the improving margins in the ones that are actually going into the high performance computing and also the AI. We all know what the AI industry is being a catalyst for a lot of different things. Before we let you go, just one final question. Big question: Bitcoin, is it an inflation hedge? Is it just a store of value? Are we looking at something here where, I always look at it as the future of it being a transactional currency, and there's certainly some transactions that are going on. Talk about that into the future for, going to the store, not paying in dollars, paying in Bitcoin.
Yeah, a lot of these people, they try to slap labels on this thing. It was an inflation hedge, and then it became a debasement hedge, and then it's become a treasury hedge. I don't know. It's an asset that I trade, and I think it's more dangerous to try to slap a label and a narrative onto it, because then we make some mental associations of it that may not be true. So ultimately, money flow moves markets, not narratives, not stories, not opinions, and so I don't really know what it is, and equally, I don't really care what it is.
Okay, final big question. Bitcoin projections. We've heard Kathy Wood say $2 million. Tom Lee, I think, was like $2 million. What's Louis Sykes' Bitcoin projection? You can go out as far as you want, but how high can this thing go?
How high can this thing go? Oh, this is like
That's
the
the
headline.
million-dollar
This is the
question,
headline number
literally.
that you guys want to get from me right now. I'm gonna say, for this bull market, I think we get to 155 by the first quarter. That's where my head is at. 155 by the first quarter.
That's a reasonable target. That's a reasonable target. I like that.
All right. You guys know him. He's Louis Sykes. You can find him on Twitter. Homie Charts. Louis, I'm getting a lot of great comments in here. Super. Like, go to bed. Okay. Go get some sleep here.
What time is it there right now?
It's currently 2 a.m.
Oh my gosh. And you look wide awake. But you probably trade these cryptocurrencies all night. So you probably are
I
awake
do.
at 2
I'm deep in the trenches. You don't need to worry about that.
You don't even worry. Dude, we make him get up at 2 a.m. I feel bad. But this is his life. He just trained at 2 a.m. So he's right into it. So
yeah.
Great stuff.
Yeah, everyone really enjoying it. Louis, great to get a different perspective on things, and we'll be following you. And we hope to get you back on again next month for another Crypto Corner.
Hey guys, this was great. This was fun. We should definitely do it again.
All right, thank you. All right, little bit of rally here in the S&Ps. We moved up here, only down 4.25, 4.5 handles. We just kind of seesaw day, like government shutting down. No, they saw Schumer walking out of Trump's office. Oh no, God, Hakeem Jeffries. Oh, there's no way we're doing a deal. I think that's just what you're gonna be. Just chop, 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 chop until we hear something more definitive. Dennis, what are you seeing out there?
I think it's going to be one of those days where we're glued into the headlines and it's like, oh, yeah, we see Schumer walking out of Trump's. Oh, the deal. And there's a no deal. I'm going with no deal still. I don't think there's going to be a deal. So I think you could have this market where, it ignores. But when it gets towards the end of the day, if there doesn't look like there's a deal looming, I think you could see an end of the day sell-off where you get nervousness. So sometimes, you have like clean, you got to go and look at the technicals and you look at everything. But then other days, it's like the headlines matter. This government shutdown headline is going to matter. It may not matter long-term, but it's going to matter short-term. It's going to be a trading opportunity. So keep an eye. I mean, all of a sudden you see like there's going to be a deal, rumors there's going to be a deal, the market's going to explode higher on that. If there's rumors that there's not going to be a deal, the market's going to dump on that. We do have other news here too. So we talked the CoreWeave news right before Louis Sykes came on here. We also have UiPath, a stock that I have in my long-term portfolio. So I'm pretty happy about this one here. At 835, UiPath partners with NVIDIA for AI-powered automation and sensitive workflows. Also partnering with OpenAI to integrate ChatGPT with enterprise workflows. PATH, which I believe is a Kathy stock as well.
Was it?
Morning,
Is it?
up
I think she sold
23%.
it. Did she sell it? If she sold it, then you could get really bullish here.
She's not doing well lately.
You haven't picked on Kathy. Are you a Kathy fan now? Are you like you're on Twitter?
Baby.
I bet you do DM with Kathy now. I bet you
I would.
do.
I'd bring her on the show now. She's hot again because you know what? She was ice cold for years and she still's very much underperformed the NASDAQ since her inception. But I tell you, this year has been the Kathy year. It's the stories, stocks, AI. She's in those. She got levered up on Circle. She moved into the right stuff. She's made some good calls. And look at ARKK trading up 86.17. I actually don't know if she owns Path or not. It would be a fun exercise. Let me just go quickly look. We'll go ARKK Holdings. Is it still there? Because she was in this for a long time. Maybe she gave up on it. She just have like 40, 50 stocks. And she's like, we got to get more concentrated in just the ones we really believe in. Is UiPath still there? It's not top 10.
No, someone said no.
I'm going to look at the full holdings. I think she might be out. Oh,
Yeah.
Kathy. Yeah, and you know why we know she's out? Because ARKK is not even going up on this, and it would be ripping with if she owned it. So she's out. She's done. She doesn't own it. I bought it from her, maybe. I bought this thing. When did I buy? I've been down this thing for a while too. I think I bought it like 12.50. Well, about where it was closed yesterday, but I bought it back in like July and it went down to like $10. So it's been an ugly one for me for a bit, but I'm back, baby. This goes to show you.
Yeah.
Hold on long enough, these things come back around in these bull markets.
Yeah, scratch it, Dennis. Hold it 50% against.
That's how you do it. You could scratch all your losers and make money on all your winners. That's what a lot of people try to do. You make some money in bull markets, it works.
Back in December of last year, it hit a high at 1593. That coincides with your pre-market high. A week closed the end of the year at 1271. So after 16, things really open up on the upside. And using NVIDIA buzzword, I mean, if you can't get a pop on your stock using that, then boy, oh boy, you better go back to the drawing board there. But nice pop in UiPath.
Okay, we got 1 minute left. Final thoughts. Again, it's going to be the government shutdown. It's going to be top, and that's all they're going to talk about on CNBC all day here today. We'll give you a quick balance look here. We do have a couple buy imbalances. Bristol Myers 100,000 to buy, Pfizer 127,000 to buy, Citigroup 121,000 to sell. We'll cover these more in depth, obviously, over at Stock Trader Network, where we try to make some opening trades here. It's also the end of the month and the end of the quarter. So typically your closing imbalances usually are pretty good at the end of the quarter, and we can make some money there too. So if you're interested in trying out a trial, we're going to be doing some of these closing trades here. We come in here around 3:40 and we start placing some of these trades for the close. So we'll see if we can get some movement here on the close. I'd expect kind of a quiet open, but I think you're going to have some fireworks on the close.
Yeah, just to say, if we try and get as much as we can in during this hour, but with breaking news, with our excellent guests and everything, we can't always cover all the content that Brent puts together with us very diligently. We didn't get to talk about any of the other economic data coming out today. We did talk about analyst ratings, which are always fun off the open. Rocket Labs with more launches, a lot of stuff we missed here on pre-market prep. So if your trading day is not complete, if you're not ready for the open, then you got to try the Stock Trader Network. You'll be prepared for that. And also the closing show, 3:30 to 5 with Brent and Dennis. They cover the closing imbalances, the 4 o'clock news dumps, 4:15, 4:30. And you can listen to Dennis all the way till 5 o'clock. Can you imagine that? Even on Fridays. I can't even get these guys to quit early on Friday.
It's a lot of ranting.
Yeah, that is a lot. Friday's a little bit more casual. Sometimes the Brentster gets out his turntable and plays some old records. But we want to keep you guys informed as much as possible. It is nearly a huge task to do it in only 1 hour. Hop over to the Stock Trader Network right